From the Bob Mills Weather Center, meteorologist Stephen Nehrenz.
As we head into this Labor Day holiday weekend, we are really starting to dry out across most of the state, even here in eastern Oklahoma. Of course, you know, we really banked a lot of that rain that we had, those several wet stretches we had in July and in the first half of this month. You know, it kept us from a wildfire season for the most part, which obviously is a blessing. Now, you know, the drawback was all the awful humidity we had earlier this month, but now we're starting to dry out pretty fast. Of course, the drought has been ongoing for a while. You know, we've narrowed it at times in Osage County and Washington County up into southeast Kansas, but we're still in pretty bad drought conditions overall there. But the drought has started to spread pretty quickly across south central and even southeastern Oklahoma, starting to creep up into Pittsburgh, Latimer, LaFleur counties, where this last stretch of rain we had during August, you didn't have as much of that. And we're getting what we call flash drought developing, and more or less just meaning drought is very quickly developing, you know, kind of the opposite of a flash flood, a flash drought. Over the last several weeks, it has gone bone dry across southern Oklahoma, and so this has developed quickly. This is becoming more and more of a wildfire problem in southern Oklahoma, creeping into central Oklahoma and southeastern Oklahoma, and we'll probably start to see some of this creep into eastern Oklahoma as well, because the long-term rain prospects for the next week or two, as far as anything widespread, aren't looking great. So we may start to have more drought concerns. Now, as far as lake levels go heading into this weekend, overall, we're still doing really well. The lakes are all steadily declining at this point now, lake level-wise, because of how much we're drying out. Of course, as you know, all summer it's been a struggle at Copan. Skytook are still running way below normal, several feet below normal. But everything else, I mean, really good shape. The blue indicating normal levels. Most lakes, Hudson, Keystone, Fort Gibson are all very close to normal relatively. So as far as the lakes go this weekend, again, outside of Copan and Skytook, those levels are doing really, really good. Muggy meter, today it is slightly humid, but we actually get some drier air again tomorrow and Saturday. So the first half of the weekend is going to feel great from a humidity standpoint. Sunday, but especially Labor Day Monday, the tail end of this long weekend, is when the humidity creeps up. This is what that means for the heat index. I don't really have the heat index listed the next couple of days because there's not much of one, but Sunday a bit of one, and then heat index goes back over 100, near 105 by Labor Day Monday and early next week. So enjoy this. Even though, as I mentioned, there's a slight heat index today, not much of one. And highs this afternoon, a mixture of upper 80s north and east of Tulsa, about 90 to 91 in the metro, low 90s in southeastern Oklahoma, right about where we've been the last couple of days. In fact, I think a degree or two lower than we were yesterday. Let's roll through the football forecast. There's a lot, right? College football's back. High school football is back for most teams that didn't play last week. TU this evening, Chapman Stadium. You don't get much better than this for late August, for the first game of the season. A little toasty for tailgating, but then upper 80s at kickoff, and by the fourth quarter, we should be in the upper 70s and feeling awesome. Tomorrow night, Friday night football, high school games, about the same as this evening. Upper 80s to kickoff, upper 70s by the tail end of those games. And then for Saturday, if you're going down to Norman, hydrate. It is going to be hot. I mean, warm in the morning. Kickoffs at 11 o'clock in the upper 80s. It'll be into the 90s. Not too much of a breeze, full sunshine. That's going to be a hot one. It'll be hot to start off OSU's game in Stillwater Saturday evening, tailgating well into the 90s, and then fortunately cooling down a little bit during OSU's game on Saturday. So if you're planning ahead for all of those, same deal goes for Rocklahoma. I didn't slip that forecast in here, but if you're headed to Rocklahoma and Pryor, again, humidity levels pretty good the next few days, but make sure you're hydrating if you're going to be out there this weekend with those highs in the low 90s. And highs in the low 90s here in Tulsa as well today and tomorrow. And again, even Saturday, look at those mornings still feeling very nice and comfortable and cool. Sunday, Monday, that's when the humidity starts to climb and we get back into a little more of the muggies heading into next week.